Good morning, Rockstar. This is the 14th video in the series of the book called An Enemy Called Average by Mr. John Mason. And this is all part of the 100 video series that we're continuing here. And wonderful, wonderful nuggets for our daily lives, very practical. And what I would like to do today is just do a second parter from our yesterday's video. Our words are seeds planted in other people's lives, and I want to kind of talk about that a little bit more, and because too often we say things without thinking. You know what I mean? Too often we speak, sometimes out of turn, sometimes we speak in jest, and sometimes we just speak because we like to speak. And someone said, the reason God gave us two ears and one mouth is because He wants us to listen more and speak less. And sometimes we need to do that. We don't take time out to think how this word is going to affect that person, or what I'm going to say and what I'm about to say going to affect that person, or care enough. Now, I don't mean that you should be a hypocrite. I don't mean that you should not speak the truth in love. And I don't mean that you're not supposed to be honest with what you're saying. We're not talking about that. But we are talking in our honesty, in our directness, in our word. Definitely, we want to do that. Because we also we want to shape people, we want to shape ourselves, and but what I'm talking about is what are the seeds that you're planting in people? Are those seeds to grow that person, or seed to help that person, or seed that will flourish that person and gives fruit? Bear good fruit, or are they seed that will to demean that person, to hold that person back, or the seed that you're planting, it will be seed that will flourish, yes, but they're seed of negativity, seed that will give those kind of a sour fruit. And so those are the things that I'm talking about. What are we saying to people? Not necessarily how. How is definitely something to take into account as well. But today we're talking about those words as planting. And it kind of goes along with a previous nugget that we had already talked about, where we talk about don't consume your tomorrows, feeding on your yesterdays. And in that case, I like to say, yes, we are, some of our greatest obstacles when it comes to progression in our lives and in our businesses and things like that. But the people that we surround ourselves with also can be some of those obstacles. So choose your friends wisely. Choose your friends wisely. There are people, whether they're friends or of yours or not, there are people that will come and you know what I'm talking about. Those people who will never forget yesterday. They will never forget, especially the negative things and the bad things and the mistakes and the errors that you've done yesterday. And really, in their mind, it's literally yesterday. Even if it's 10 years ago, even if it's 20 years ago, and they don't know how to move on. And you know what? They make it their business to make sure you don't move on as well. So this is where planting the seed is so important, because you have to make a decision. You see, you can't decide for them. You can't make them move on. You can't make them stop being negative. You can't make them stop planting the kind of a seed around that they are planting, because it's a mindset thing. But you can do something about it. You see, you don't have to sit there. You don't have to stay there. You don't have to be planted there and allow them to pour into you. Too often we just become dormant and stay. And I think if we want success in our lives, in any aspect of our lives, the first action we need to do is to pick and choose, be choosy on what you allow to be planted in your mind. You know, in this second nugget that we have here, someone says, contrary to what you may have heard, contrary to what you may think, talk is not cheap. You know, we usually hear, oh, talk is cheap. Well, talk is not cheap. It can be costly. Talk is very expensive. You see, we should know that our words are powerful, very powerful. What we say affects what we get from others and what others get from us. When we speak the wrong word, it lessens our ability to see and hear the will of God. When we speak the wrong word into someone, you see, it lessens their abilities as well. So be careful next time when you say something to someone, when you get ready to speak to someone, make sure your intention is right and make sure those words go along with those intentions. Rockstar, let's do this. See you tomorrow.